Hello, welcome to this Eyes of Harmony podcast. On this channel, we talk everything classic, new, and upcoming Doctor Who. We actually have quite a few things to talk about this week. Actually, surprisingly,
for once.
because we're doing it a week later. Like at the moment, we've been so busy that we've been doing fortnightly, but I felt that there was enough.
You've been so busy.
Yes. Let's recreate. Let's bring that back. I've been super busy. Conrad's just been chilling, but yeah, exactly like that. That's exactly what it's been like.
Yeah.
But there was just enough this week that I was like, you know what? I want to talk about it. People need to hear from us, our 22 watchers, or however many views we get. We love you guys. So obviously, the big thing that couldn't wait, which so obviously happened yesterday. Like, I can't believe I didn't think, yeah, that's obviously going to happen, was Christopher Eccleston trailer dropping on the 16th anniversary since it aired. And man, seeing all those tweets, I was like, oh my god, it's been that long? That's crazy. I even watched just this morning the little, the things that like BBC used to do before the show came on, where the continuity, where they're like, and up next is, and like, I don't know if it's placebo because I'm thinking I should remember this or not, but like I just remember the whole thing so clearly, like, sitting down and seeing these it's like these street dancers doing the kind of performance and this guy talking over the top.
Yeah. Well, they played them a lot.
I mean, I remember that, but I just remember that whole, like, just that first like section of like Doctor Who all the way up until like Run, like that whole thing is so vivid. That opening, and the thing is, I only ever watched Rose live on broadcast until 2010, when I got the series 1 to 4 box set, and I was finally able to rewatch the first series. I was so excited to watch Rose again. I was so excited.
It was a while for me too, because like I only owned volume 3 and 4 of the DVD. I think I finally got a copy of Rose with the DVD files series, if you remember that.
Yeah, the coloured one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, basically
the single story ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they all came in, like, so it'd just be like a magazine week on week talking about Doctor Who, but they'd just have like an episode in like those things. And actually, in like a lot of budget shops, they used to just sell like a lot of those loose. I seem to recall. So like I was just able to get like full episodes of classic Doctor Who on the cheap. Just, I mean, it didn't come with any of like the special features, but like, it's how I first watched episodes like Pyramids on Mars, for example. But I watched firstly as a DVD file before I got the full thing. It was cool, but I think I finally watched Rose with that series, if I remember right, which was probably like 2012, 2013.
Yeah, way after. Like, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, how long... Like, but I remembered it so well. But anyway, we're not talking about Rose. We're talking about the Big Finish trailer which dropped for The Ravagers, which is Christopher Eccleston's first series. Big Finish is back as the Ninth Doctor, and he sounds different. Weirdly, at some points I was like, "Is that him? Oh, okay, it's him." Like...
It sounds higher pitched and less gravelly, but as I mentioned this to you on Snapchat, I think that's intentional, just to kind of get this vibe of a younger Ninth Doctor that's earlier in his timeline, because it was evident from Rose that he had been about and been doing stuff for a fair while before Rose happened. So evidently this, I think what they're going for is a more energetic and younger version of the Ninth Doctor. Probably still with his scars, but like, just younger and hasn't, I guess, maybe had so much time to kind of simmer on them, maybe. Although, who knows? We haven't got the episodes.
We'll hear it, yeah. But it sounds good, sounds intense. I'm excited for it. Of course, I knew they were going to leave a fantastic for the end. I was like, classic.
Of course.
Nice.
Of course.
Nice. But yeah, sounds really interesting. I just, it's just amazing knowing that he's back, doing it. I think there's just such a special place in our hearts, I think, just for Chris, just...
Oh, absolutely.
Even though he was there for one series, it's such a, like, pillar in like that's where our lives kind of changed, you know, like this whole podcast wouldn't exist. Like that is the moment. 26th of March 2005.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like it just it's and while I love David Tennant, you know, obviously he was a huge part, you know, the Russell T Davies era is a huge part. It's just that one series is just slightly there's just, you know, it's just different because it's Eccleston, and just because it's just one series worth, it's like it's so finite, it's so precious kind of thing. Like it's just this little thing which I love so much. But yeah, it's great that he's back, and you know, I hope this leads to him doing, you know, an anniversary maybe. But who knows?
I mean, I don't know, because he still had issues with the BBC. I think it's easier. I think I said this when it was first announced. Like, it might be easier for him since there is a bit more of a disconnect. With it being Big Finish as opposed to BBC itself. But I think he did do stuff with the BBC after.
I think he has done since. He's done stuff with the BBC. So
I think fairly recently.
I think his issue was more Russell T Davies. I think was what the issue was.
Well, I think what he said was Russell T.
Judy Gardner,
and like Judy Gardner, and like
Phil Collins. I think it was. Yeah, Phil Collins.
Yeah, most of the people in charge. He just had
clashes with. Yeah, I think it was a lot of stress making that first series, you know, and yeah, so I'm excited for it. I still need to pre-order it, but it's just because I'm trying to like not just pre-order a load of things at once, because I always feel like my money's going. I prefer to buy it like when I know that the money's going to go out in a couple of days. Because it's just like, it's awful when you forget that you've pre-ordered something and you look at your bank account and suddenly like, where the frick is that 30 quid gone? Oh, the next Steelbook, right? that's the one thing I pre-order early is the Steelbooks.
For me, things just turn up sometimes.
yeah. I think I have a bit more of a close eye on my bank account than maybe you do. I
keep an eye on there. I make sure it's not, you know, dropping like dramatically.
Not like the Amiibo situation.
Yeah. Well, I'm nowhere near that. That was when I hadn't earned anything. I was just relying on like the £10 my parents were supplying me a week.
Conrad, for reference, Conrad got into debt over an Amiibo.
Well, I went into my overdraft. It was like, because it was a youth account anyway, they were like, oh, you know, just
fill it up
whenever. But yeah, I had paid for that Amiibo with money I didn't have, which I didn't know because, again, like the payment went through. Like I thought when it was happening, oh, you know, I don't think I got money for this. This is probably going to block. The bank's probably going to block this transaction, and then the bank didn't block the transaction. I'm just like, oh,
nice,
okay,
money.
I mean, it was only. Yeah, I guess.
Is it good for you didn't keep buying stuff because I could have got so much worse.
Wrong in terms of the amount which I had, and evidently I hadn't thought wrong. But it was only like 2 or 3 quid.
Yeah.
Like that never happened again.
I just love it was over an Amiibo. Which Amiibo was it again?
Palutena.
Fair enough.
Need to keep my goddess wife with me at all times.
God's sake. Was she a rarer one? Was she one of the ones which sold out quicker?
I think she's pretty difficult to find now. I don't know. At the time, because like I said, I pre-ordered it just because, you know, I really wanted to get all the Cadicurus uprising.
I mean, I tried that with the bloody Legend of Zelda ones, but they kept just freaking releasing them. It was just so.
At least with Cadicurus, I know that they're not going to make
limited.
Anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've still got to get Young Link from Smash. I think there was the 4 Guardians from Breath of the Wild. What was it? There was one I got ripped off on actually on eBay.
Been reprinted.
Yeah, I got ripped off on one by the Majora's Mask Special 30th Anniversary Edition, I think. That one I got ripped off on. I got the other 2. I managed to find Twilight Princess's Skyward Sword. But the Majora's Mask one I just think is like the Goron Mask. But yeah, that was annoying. This ain't video game chat. What are we on about? This is
Princess one before the street date, but yeah.
Anyway, moving on to next. Well, I mean, is there anything else to say about it? I think it sounds good. No. I'm excited for like the next trailers for the next ones because I think this is like a continuous story, isn't it? It's like 3 volumes. 4 volumes.
Yeah.
No, 3 volumes of one story.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Exciting times. I'm very excited.
Mm.
When is that? That comes out May, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Good stuff. Right. Next thing is so obviously some set filming. So first of all, it's in Liverpool, which is quite nice. One thing I do like about this era of Doctor Who is they are going to other places in the UK, right? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of did get fed up with it always being London, right? It's not the only place in the UK. So now that they've done Sheffield and now that they're doing, Liverpool is quite nice. I really like that they're just going elsewhere. It doesn't feel like we're just always in, like, Aliens only happen in London.
But it was London and Cardiff.
Oh yeah, those two, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's nice to go elsewhere. We got Yorkshire once in like the Matt Smith era.
Yeah.
And but it was like old Victorian, right? Though actually, I'm not sure if this one's set in this is in the past, isn't it? It's past Liverpool. It's in the meeting up with the Peaky Blinders, which are also filming there.
Yeah.
Bit of a darker episode they go for this. This series they're going a lot darker. Doctor gets mixed up with the Peaky Blinders and does some crime. Gets fed up. Midlife crisis with this timeless child shit. But yeah, so we saw obviously the whole crew in costume. Yaz, the Doctor, and Dan, which is nice. They also looked like they were filming like Dan joining the TARDIS because there was modern day clothing as well. So I'm wondering if Dan is from Liverpool and that's gonna like his whole hub is gonna be there. Because I'm thinking that might be the case because they did that shoot in Liverpool and then now they're doing this in the past in Liverpool. Maybe one of the first stories is they go back in time to show him Liverpool in the past or something like that, to show that it works, right? Something like that, it could just be a little segment, who knows? But yeah, it looks. I'm excited for the. I mean, there's stuff I disagree with the what they've gone with the direction, but ultimately, it's still solid enough to get me excited for each season. So I can't really it's not my favorite era, but I wouldn't say it's like terrible. Like there's bad episodes here or there, all for 55, but there's like. That happens in any series, so I'm excited. I'm feeling excitement for it.
I'm interested. I mean, I wouldn't. Well, again, I guess because of the general lack of much news, much official news, I suppose. I wouldn't call myself excited, for it. But I'm interested to see, I guess, where they go next, I guess, after everything.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Well, I mean, we know, I'm not going to say it yet, because I'll leave spoilers for a little later on. But from, things we've seen in behind the scenes, that makes me excited, But yeah, the other strange thing that happened from these, it was a very confusing time on Twitter, to be honest. It was just sudden uproar that Catherine Tate was seen on location, which was very odd.
Yeah, literally, it just suddenly appeared. You sent me a message about it, and then I was looking about on Twitter for it, and people were saying it, and there was some people going into comments going "Oh yeah, I saw her and had a chat, and she said she's working on something that I'm not allowed to tell you." And there were a few people saying that, and for me, it's okay, people can say these things.
Yeah.
But people lie on Twitter.
It's so weird though, right?
Without
why
actual evidence. I'm not going to immediately think, "Oh my goodness, this is true. I'm gonna get excited."
It's just such a weird thing to lie about, right? To say you actually saw this person, right? I get maybe mistaken identity, right? But to say you spoke to them, it's just wild. It's like being "Oh my god, Conrad, Catherine Tate's on the podcast with us. No way! That's crazy. With David Tennant. She's here. I'm talking to her. She's on our podcast. We've had Catherine Tate on our podcast. And Davros. Wild. That's crazy. Yeah. Confirmed. Catherine Tate has been on our podcast. We're just such a
Oh, we
small
didn't even need
channel.
to wait 3 hours for her this time.
Yeah. We did get her signature. Good times. So there it is. Look, so she had to have been here to write on that, right? Exactly. So that's the fact.
We totally didn't go to a convention and then wait in the queue for things.
Yeah, she was very lovely. It's because she went to do the photos first, wasn't it? Or so something happened.
She went to
the schedule.
We were there on time, and then she was at the photo shoot, which significantly overran, and then I think she went for lunch.
Yeah.
So we were there I think an hour after.
We were waiting an hour because we had to wait a while to get the tickets, and then we had to get, because that was the first time they did that, which was the worst idea, that you had to get tickets and then line up rather than just line up. So dumb. So they ended up having like more queues than if they just let people actually go to the people they wanted to, because the stupid idea of that is like, right, all the people who wanted to go for like Anthony Mackie, who I think was there that year.
He was.
Yeah. So everyone in the line for Anthony Mackie, like, for people who wanted, obviously Catherine Tate would have been popular as well, but I felt sorry for, like, you know, the people who wanted to see people who weren't as popular and had to still wait in line for all these Anthony Mackie people to get through.
That was a thing though. Well, you could. I mean, in terms of getting to the actual tickets, sometimes it took a while. Although the later it got, the easier it got.
But obviously you wanted to get that early.
So for me, I got I can't remember the exact guy's name. The guy who played Colossus in Deadpool. Because everybody was like queued up for Anthony Mackie, and like for him, I was just like able to just like wander past that queue, and because nobody was queuing up for him, like he was completely like alone, and so I got signature. I think he was quite appreciative that anybody was, actually coming to get his signature at that point. He seemed quite gracious, so that was a nice moment.
Yeah, I mean, it must be quite tough seeing like really popular people, and you're just there chilling, like. Yeah. Just relax it out.
There we go. There he is.
Hey.
But little X.
You've been a little X-Men. Yeah, X-Force. I watched Deadpool 2 actually again recently. I enjoyed it a lot more this time around, actually, than when I saw it in cinemas. In cinemas, I was a bit disappointed, but this time around, I was like, nah, that was a lot better. I still think the first one's better for jokes because they wrote it over a longer period of time, so they really kind of perfected it. But I'm hoping that the next number 3 will be super good, because obviously it's been bloody ages now since number 2. Number 2 was like 18, wasn't it? 2018 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Wild. Oh no, maybe early. Yeah, it had to be 18. Wild. And now spoilery stuff. So you don't want to do it. We're gonna talk about the spoilery stuff and then just a couple of DVD things. So if you're interested in that.
And just to say, actually, because we didn't quite finish the Catherine Tate point, but basically her publicist, I think her agent came out and basically said that she wasn't even there.
Not even in Liverpool. It was just some ginger person going around.
It's like, why?
It's so weird. The people who lied, you're not good people.
People who lied, but also
lie.
The people who were like believing it without any like evidence.
Well, I feel like you kind of.
Twitter can say stuff. Things can spread, but like if you don't actually
have any evidence, I was waiting for pictures.
Of her in Liverpool. It's another thing entirely. It's just Twitter hearsay. Like I don't know why.
Weird shit.
Yeah.
Crazy people. Right. Finally. Spoilery stuff. So there was so fucking leave now if you don't want spoilers. Not I'm going to show any pictures, so it's just going to be more of a description. But so there was this you sent it to me, Conrad. It was this picture of a big guy with like a kind of skull kind of mask on, skull prosthetic, kind of all black, a little bit of gold, kind of stripes, lines,
sort of almost Egyptian kind of like stylings. That's what I think was saying about
It's interesting. It looks is towering, must be at least like 6 foot something. And just really big built. Looks interesting. Original villain, which is nice to see after kind of knowing that we've definitely got Weeping Angels and Sontarans. So it's nice that, we are going to get a few new ones as well.
Yeah, we'd hope so.
Though, to be honest, like, I don't mind old villains returning, but the old ones I want to return, I don't really care about Daleks and Cybermen at this point. And even the Master, I'm kind of a bit like, okay, we've had quite a lot of you. Like, I'd love if Sontarans or Zygons or Autons or Wirren, some stuff returning, but just that hasn't been back for ages.
I mean, I think for me, ultimately, if the story's good, that's the most important thing.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, and I think Sontarans we haven't actually seen in a while.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for Sontarans.
It's nice to see them again.
Even Weeping Angels, I'm like, it's been a while.
I think in terms of Zygons, like they kind of closed that. They almost sort of closed that book with Invasion and Version, where they kind of were able to like coexist.
Well, you could do earlier points in their time stream, right?
Yeah, they could do. Yeah, I mean that's true. But yeah, I mean I agree. But at the same time, I mean I don't mind them bringing back villains by no means. In fact, in a lot of cases I'm happy. But I think Doctor Who does, always need to make an effort to create new and interesting, memorable villains, which is something they kind of struggled with. I think
for this era, I wouldn't say they've created any villains that could be reoccurring.
No, they created a bunch of new villains in the first series,
but none were that 11. Strong. Really.
But which ones are ever gonna, I mean, I might bring one of them back, but beyond the Chibnall era, I mean, is there only going to be any one of these which people are going to think, let's create another story with one of these villains, But I don't think that's, it's just not going to happen, is it?
Yeah.
It might happen, but, nobody's going to really...
I mean, there was some solid villains, but some of them were just
solid
humans,
ideas,
right?
It just didn't feel like all of them got,
It's overstuffed cast and stuff. I think sometimes I think it gets too simplicity. I think is the thing that's missing sometimes. I think sometimes a really simple story. It's like Orphan 55 could have been a really good simple story, but then there was so many side characters that it just got completely bogged down in what do I do with all these people? I can't get. Do you know what lives in my head rent free is that old lady saying Benny. I don't know why. I just always hear it. I go to sleep, Conrad, and I just hear her calling out for Benny. I can't get her out of my head. Benny. I don't know why. I just can't get it out of my head. I love hating it though. I need to watch it again. Jesus, what a train crash.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like the dregs were cool designs. They've been cool designs, but just nothing that's ever stood out. The ones that Chibnall writes best are actually the villains with pre-existing history. Those are the ones he's written the best for. Like the Daleks and the Cybermen and the Master. All three of those he's actually written really well for. He's got those guys completely down to a T. But anything new is just, I don't know if it's time is an issue for him, the amount of time that he has to write these scripts and turn them around in. Like when you're writing a Dalek, right? If I went to write a Dalek, I know exactly what I need to write. But if I was coming up with something new, I'm like, so many options and directions that you can go with it that,
Which is a shame because he's had good ideas, and it's not like he's not written any good stories. Power 3 is one that I always.
The villain kind of sucks though, right? The whole premise. He comes up with good premises, and it's never quite lands. I think that's the issue. He gets too distracted with kind of some elements that he wants to do, rather than But there's so much good. I think it's just practice. I'm hoping that now 3 series in, he'll be really kind of improving. I felt like last series, all the issues I had with series 11 got kind of improved on in series 12, right? There was still some issues, right? Definitely too plot heavy this time, too arc heavy. It went from one extreme to the other. But there was the issues of underdeveloped companions. Well, they actually then developed Yaz a bit more, and but Gray and Orion, obviously there just wasn't much to do with them.
Well, they kind of had most of the development in
first series, yeah. But at least Yaz got developed. More darker moments with the Doctor, and he's it worked out better.
Yeah, I'd say the writing was more consistent. Like in series 11, it was all over the place. Like series 12, like as much as I don't like some of the ideas, and particularly like as we got towards the finale, I didn't really like. Like in terms of the actual quality of writing, it's say, pretty on. In terms of, I mean, specifically in terms of what Chris Chibnall was writing in particular.
Yeah, specifically Chibnall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Spyfall was solid.
Yeah, it remained fairly consistent for him.
Yeah. I'm glad that Max Alderaan is back for this next series, because Haunting of Villa Diodati was definitely probably the strongest episode of that series. It just had so much like feel to it, and I think that is the thing. There's not enough female writers writing for a female Doctor. I just maybe arguably the two best stories of her era have been written by women, right? Mallory Blackman, Rosa, and Haunting of Villa Diodati, right? Because clearly they know what they want from like a female kind of superhero. The Doctor's kind of a superhero, right?
Yeah.
I just don't get why there's not, because there's so many female writers out there. Like, I'm sure they'd be wanting to do it, right? I don't know. It's still it's weird, like that they're so.
I mean, they made an effort to bring in all these new writers, but yeah,
it's still predominantly male though, right? Like,
it is, yeah.
I'm surprised. Like, it would not be hard to find a load of female writers who have good backgrounds in writing, right? I do not think that would be a challenge.
Yeah. No, it
I mean,
be.
yes, I just feel like it's not. I think chance that the two best episodes of Jodie's era have kind of been
up there.
Up there. I mean, I still like Kablam, and Pete McTeague kind of got it as well. He kind of that felt very like I could see that episode in like a Matt Smith
Resolution's good. Nikola Tesla's Night Terror.
Yeah, that was solid.
Terrors. Yeah, he was saying. I mean, they've been still solid episodes, but yeah, I very much see your point with that, and I do think it's something they probably need to. But I think the two issues are is that the lack of female writers, but also the fact that they entirely drained the well of talent.
Yeah, Nikola's Tesla Night of Terror was also written by a woman.
Yeah, there we
Nina.
go.
There we go. Yeah, Nina. Yeah.
But, the other point I was going to bring up, actually, because there was another article, which
actually no, I take it back. They actually have got quite a few female writers. Charlene James also wrote for Can You Hear Me, which is a lot of some people didn't like that one. I really like that one. I thought it tapped into some classic kind of vibes. They talked about the Eternals. The Eternals, are they called that?
Yeah.
Yeah, are they called Eternals? Yeah. I think they are.
Yeah.
Like, the toy maker and stuff, like that's the kind of like Easter egg stuff I love, where it doesn't pull down the plot, but it's like a sprinkle. It's salt by. But like, look at it, like all those ones. My favorite stories basically have all been, even Witchfinders, Joe Wilkinson. One of the stronger ones.
So,
actually, I take it back. Yes, they have actually made an effort to get more female writers, so I'm glad. I take that back.
Okay, yeah.
Bad Nick. I take it back. However, like, it's clear that they get it more. I think they just get it more, like, right? Yeah. They at the minute they're just knocking it out of the park.
Like I said, I think that's good in terms of like bringing in that kind of new direction the show. I guess at the other end of things, and this was like another article actually that I just remembered that I was going to bring up, and I briefly mentioned it, but they basically they started afresh kind of at series 11. They didn't kind of bring back any of the previous writers. I mean, that was good to kind of bring in a new kind of thing into the show. That I kind of hope, and this is kind of what I was going to get onto a little bit, that maybe going forward we see like one or two of them, maybe an episode or something. Because there was an article, I think they had like an interview with Martin Gatiss, who said that I think he said that Christian had asked him personally that if he ever wants to write an episode again, that like even if we're mostly kind of bringing in new writers. If you want to write an episode for the show, you can do it, and I kind of want to see that happen.
I really like Mark Gatiss' writing. While his stories are never maybe the strongest, you'll never be like, this is the best of the series. There's a consistency with his stories. There's always a solid consistency, and I love that he's written for like every single Doctor. He wrote for 9, 10, 11, 12. And it'd be a shame if he didn't get to write for 13. I think he's actually kind of like, and I think it will be more in retrospective that people look back. But like Mark Gatiss is kind of a staple of Doctor Who history. He really is like a huge element of writing and that consistency across. Did he write? Who wrote? Did he write?
Didn't he do like some of the because I think he was involved even before. Didn't he write some of the Virgin New Adventure books?
I think he did. Yeah. He wrote. He wrote books to start.
So even before that,
But yeah, it's like I'm surprised they haven't got Sarah Dollard back because she wrote 2 really good stories. Obviously, Face the Raven, which was really emotionally hitting, and also then Thin Ice, which I really enjoyed. So I'm surprised they haven't got her back because she's.
The Face the Raven was well written. It's just that it was made retroactively pointless.
Bad, yeah. Which is a shame because I remember watching that episode and being like, "Damn, they killed her," and they didn't. Wah. It's a shame that next episode's only going to be maybe 8/9 if there's a special as well. We'll see. When restrictions lift, they might be able to just make one really quickly, right? They've got plenty of time for the special, right? It should be 10 months of filming. They started November, so they should finish in September.
I guess it would depend because if the rumors are true and Jodie really is leaving, then I guess they'd need to take some time to figure out a lot of that. Of course, who's next? Which if it is the case, they probably already figured that out, unless it's.
I have a feeling that
done by New Year.
I just have a feeling that she's not leaving this year. I think she will stay for maybe another series.
So like I said, in other podcasts, I think previously that there might have been some contract negotiations coming on, and that was why it was reported on one hand that she was leaving, and then she's and another she might not be leaving. I don't know what to believe in terms of that, to be frank. I don't think she's got too much longer, even if she does stay on beyond this season. I think she would go the season after.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I kind of feel like I get the vibe that things are winding down generally for her era, but whether or not it's this season or not, I guess remains to be seen. Because she has been tied to the role of the Doctor for quite a while now, because of all the gaps. She has been the Doctor for a fair amount of time at this point, even if we've only had 2 season series of her so far. In terms of the actual general length of stuck to this role and being unable to accept too many others, it has been a while. So I could potentially see her leave at the end of this season or at the New Year special, but maybe not. I guess who knows at this point. But all I'm saying is that if she is, then there's probably going to be some time to figure out.
I don't know. They turned around.
Exactly what they're doing.
They turned around the David Tennant thing for Chris Eccleston pretty quickly, and that was just before. That was March. They had 4 months. They took them.
Well, it did. I mean, they kind of. I think you can kind of see a little bit into because he wasn't in the Christmas Invasion very much. I'm not sure entirely fully got it at the beginning, so it just kind of made him,
I think that was more a choice. That was more of a creative choice to show regeneration from the audience's point of view, right?
True.
For all the kids and everything, they were like, Rose, at this point, you trusted this man, and now he's changed his face. What the frick?
Yeah.
And it builds up for that exciting, moment of him, coming out of the TARDIS. That wasn't anything to do because I don't even think they filmed the Christmas Invasion first. I think they actually started with New Earth and that first. I think they actually Christmas Invasion was later in the filming block than the other was. Let me check.
I thought it was New Earth that was late, but
nah, because his hair's all over the place. Oh no, okay, no. Christmas Invasion was the very first thing. Then it was School Reunion. Then it was New
Yeah.
Earth.
Oh, okay.
So it was early on. It was Satan's Pit and the Impossible Planet, which was actually the last block. It's weird that Rose filmed, Billy Piper filmed a goodbye stuff before actually finishing.
Yeah.
That must be so weird to backwards do it. Ugh. That's kind of crazy. Russell T's stuff was all filmed pretty early on, actually. Wow. But yeah, that's that. I think in terms of everything on that side of things, it's just I think she'll either do this series as special and regenerate, or she'll do this series special, another series regenerate at the end of that series. However, that would then leave it basically like the 60th anniversary is a new Doctor.
Well, maybe that could be the plot of the 60th.
It would be an interesting way to do it, I guess. Especially if maybe they were folding back through time, like folding back through themselves, as in like other incarnations were like showing up for like small scenes, because that would be a good way to do it. Like it's one adventure with always just one Doctor at a time, but the Doctor keeps like phasing between their different paths, because you could get away with them being old then, because it's just the regeneration going wrong, because now the Doctor's so old, right? Like over 2,000 years old, that if Tom Baker showed up, it'd be like, oh no, it's because I'm so old and I was so young when I was him, and it's the temporal aging. You could literally say that and people wouldn't care.
That idea just makes me think of dimensions in time.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think it kind of would work. Like, right? I feel
don't keep switching companions too randomly.
Oh yeah, not companion changes, just the Doctor. But I feel like that would be a really fun way of like, just kind of dealing with a new Doctor on an anniversary. Because like they could show up for the smallest moments, like it's like it's about to get this important moment, and suddenly Colin Baker's Doctor's there doing it, and then suddenly because you could get the smallest cameos, and throughout the story you could be waiting to see which Doctor is it next, right? When are they going to change back? When are they going to have another temporal shift? And then David Tennant's suddenly there, and then he runs as he's running, he changes into Matt Smith, like. It'd be insane, because you could kind of film them all quite quickly, right? You wouldn't need them as much as for a whole block. You just make sure that they're here for this day at this time. And
hey, did you get the first Doctor in with David?
Yeah. David Bradley. Yeah. You could do them all, because at this point, if you've recast one, you might as well just do the rest, right?
Well, they had actors for An Adventure in Space and Time.
Yeah, they had Patrick Troughton.
They had Patrick Troughton, and they had
there's Sean Pertwee, who sounds kind of like his dad.
That's true. I don't remember who was playing him in because there was a cut scene in An Adventure in Space and Time where they had the three Doctors, and they had like a picture of like some. But I don't think it was Sean Pertwee.
Was it Mark Gatiss? I know he did it.
It might have been Mark Gatiss.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that would be a really fun way to do a new Doctor on an anniversary. And then because also then you're waiting to see the new Doctor when it keeps like switching back, and you're like, what they like, and then finally really then when it's the next series, that's when you kind of really get to start with this new Doctor.
It's hard to kind of get that like introduction again, because like of course in the 50th we got Peter Capaldi's eyebrows.
Yeah, and it's like, but it's like you'll start with this one actor, and they're kind of doing the story, and it keeps flipping between them, and then Eighth Doctor and them, and then and maybe Eccleston would do a little cameo.
Provided they do it right and don't do it like Dimensions in Time.
Don't set it on the EastEnders set. I think that's pretty easy.
That too, but no, that was a confusing part of that story. Was just like. They kind of explained it, but then, when it happened, it didn't
make sense. It won't be that bad.
Weird. No, of course it won't.
And you'd have it wouldn't be like a 10-minute special, right? It would be like it'd be a 65-minute, hopefully, between that 85-minute, because it's an anniversary, right? You could get a lot. And if you actually pitched it as it's a new Doctor, it's a new, new anniversary, but with all the classics, like, you know,
Yeah.
because while with the 50th anniversary they didn't want to reveal the no sir all 13, you know, obviously you didn't want to reveal that, but we've had that now in the new era, so you actually, you know, showed the trailer of everyone's favorite like showing up. Like, you're gonna get people who've dropped off coming back just to see their Doctor. Like, if Christopher Eccleston, even if I hated the show, which I don't, and Christopher Eccleston was gonna have a little appearance in it, I'd bloody watch it. Because it'd be like, you know, such a monumental thing, and you could just explain the time, you know, because the Doctor's older, when she's, you know, she or he is phasing back through themselves, they just all look older.
Yeah.
Completely makes sense. Because the genetic code has to still be in their body, right? For all these past Doctors, it's going to be there. Can't just be gone. If the memories remain.
With the creator, in the 50th.
Exactly. But yeah,
So, yeah,
that'd be cool. Anyway, finally. DVDs. We forgot last week to mention.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Auton bus.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an advert.
They said
could
the
be
word
something.
Auton on the back of the bus.
Yeah, side
it
of a bus.
It might mean something, or it could be an Easter egg.
Yeah. I feel like it maybe is. I don't know. It feels like the little caption to the side of it was interesting as well. But yeah, it's a bus. DVDs.
Yay!
Well, actually, you know why I think it could be? Because it's obviously the anniversary of the Master, right? And his first story was with the Autons, so I feel like maybe they're doing something there. Cause, like, Sacha Dhawan's going to show up in this series. Like, it's just what happens when you have a Master; they just keep showing up.
Get another multi-master story.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that, to be honest.
I mean, I'd be down.
More John Sim, please.
More
so
John
good.
Sim.
Yeah.
Or Michelle Gomez.
Yeah. Just awesomeness.
Derek Jacobi, even.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be good to see him.
In terms of the I mean, he's good in his brief appearance on screen, but then the audio is really
developed
done
him.
such a great job of.
Yeah, well, he's a great actor. But yeah, DVDs for the third time.
Yeah, the Blu-rays.
So the Series 8 Steelbook has been revealed. I like the artwork. Some people aren't a fan of it. I like it. I like the purple. I feel like, I don't know. Do you know, I weirdly thought it would be purple before it came out, and I was right. I don't know why. In my head, I was like, it's going to be purple, and it was. So it was kind of like exactly what I expected. Though I'm surprised that Clara's on the back and Missy's on the front, but hey ho, mixing it up, I suppose. But yeah, so that'll be nice. I think that's out April. We're getting them so quickly at this point. I did watch. I watched a video of someone basically saying that they could be doing, you know, like the classic box sets, the limited edition ones, the collector's range of them doing that art style, but with the new series, and that's why they're trying to get these out quicker so that then they can make those.
Actually, okay. Yeah, that could be cool.
Well, no, because then it will make me want to get the collector's edition.
I guess.
Oh, they're just so, like, so okay, so the collector's edition. I just
want to own them on Blu-ray. I don't.
Yeah, so the collector's edition. Wow, it's out of stock. Series 8 Steelbook. Just checked on Amazon. That's wild. Yeah, so the series, the first two that they released for this collector's box set is going for like a general packaging. I can't remember what was the exact wording. The standard range, but it's in Blu-ray, which is a bit confusing to call it then the standard range. But
well, it just means that the boxes are less fancy, basically.
Yeah, which is kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if I was gonna ever get them, I'd want the fancy box, I guess.
Well, I mean, they're so expensive now because
they
are a massive target of scalpers.
Yeah.
Like even when they were first released, like scalpers were buying them en masse and reselling them on eBay for like large amounts of money. So like even you know, before they were out or like when they were out, they were very difficult to find. I didn't even try.
Yeah, I
partly because I've already
got them all. That's the thing. I'd only just finished the DVD series as well. If I was only halfway through it, maybe I would have changed direction and been like, actually, these will take up less space, and it's the space thing which is really like tempting. I'm like, damn, these guys are thin and
Yeah,
But
I guess it's just the enhancements aren't. I mean, there are some good enhancements. Like the picture quality is better, and they went for another round of, restoration of them. Plus, the new special features are nice. But at the same time, I'm quite happy with what I already kind of have. Maybe if I'm suddenly very rich someday, that's something to invest
that's the goal, isn't it?
Or maybe just hold off till they release the 4K Blu-ray versions of all of them.
No, that's big brain moves right there. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna just wait until because what the dream is that there's a consistency in the box releases, right, between classic and new Who, that it's just a consistent. So if they did release like the collector's editions with like the new Who range, that would be tempting because that would look pretty cool.
And I guess for me, like I got so many of them signed at this point.
Yeah,
my old DVDs,
I'm not gonna get rid of them.
I don't really want to move them. I guess away from my shelves.
I guess you could put them more in a framed shelf, and you don't touch those ones, and then you have the other ones.
Well, again,
just
that's
to watch.
like at this point probably. I don't know if it'd be half my collection.
Get a big wall.
A massive.
Get a massive
amount
wall.
Of my collection.
Just make the wall Doctor Who DVDs, and them put glass, and they're just there. That'd be pretty cool, actually. But right, I think that's everything. There we go. Well, comment below what you think of the Eccleston trailer and all that jazz, and whatever you think. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. There's not many of you.
Well, not whatever you want, but within reason.
Within reason. Don't take advantage of a nice gesture. And don't say that you've seen Catherine Tate. Because you probably haven't. Without photo evidence. Even though we didn't get any. But we did. We got her signature.
Yeah.
We promised. It happened.
Trust me.
It happened. You can trust us.
And Jackie Hill. They're all here.
Yeah. No one's going to believe you anymore, Conrad. All your signatures are now not going to work.
This one's even smudged. I mean, that was annoying in this one.
It's because we put it in our bags. Because that's the thing. You get it signed, then what do you do?
This wasn't the best material to get signed, I don't think.
No.
It didn't stick. I mean, I was surprised some of them.
Hey, we're wrapping up the podcast.
Series 1 Steelbook stayed on pretty well. But that's
oh, does it work quite well on these?
Yeah, I don't know if I can get it.
Don't worry. Cool. That's good to know.
I got both Christopher Eccleston and John Barrowman's on Series 1, and it stayed on well. I didn't smudge or anything.
Nice. Okay. Maybe the Steelbooks will get signed. Nice. Right. We'll see you guys next time.